All right, so today we have a podcast episode, a little mini episode. I'm just dropping this in as a bonus here on Cosmic Compass, all about travel style. And we're going to talk a little bit about the astrology of this and also the 3 types of travel. And I've also have my husband, Alex Vera Woods, here on the episode with me. And
Hi.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you here.
Yeah, I'm so glad to join. I get to join so often. It's awesome.
Yeah. And if you do want to see the video version of this episode, you can head over to my YouTube channel, Helena Woods Astrology, and see this. We're actually filming this in a beautiful podcast location today in Paris. All right, so let's get into it. We all have a unique travel style. How best do we travel in the world?
Oh, yeah.
And I once heard this on a podcast years ago, but there's 3 types of travel. There's have, do, and be types of travel.
Right. Uh-huh.
So I'll kind of break them down, and then I'll talk a little bit about how you can find your own travel style. And I'd love to hear what your travel style is and how you best like to travel too. But the have version of travel is going to all the stores, having the latest cocktail, having the famous chocolate cake that's famous in that city, going to that famous Michelin restaurant, right? And having their best entree. It's having things, going to the store and getting the cute clothes that are famous for that area, buying the trinkets, right? That's the have level of travel. And people who like the have level of travel, they love to collect, to curate, and to experience the things that are kind of famous in that area by consuming it, like food, drink,
Kind of like
buying.
acquiring it.
Yes.
So acquiring experiences and foods and things.
Yeah. So food, restaurant, shopping, right? That's the have style of travel. Then we have the do style of travel. This is the opposite of what I am, and I'm sure you too. I'd be curious to hear. But the do level of travel is you want to do everything. You have a bucket list of things that you want to check off for that city. You want to go to the museums. You want to go to all the parks. You want to go to the top of the Eiffel Tower, right? If you're in New York, you want to do the Statue of Liberty. You want to go to the top of the Chrysler Building, right? So the do level of travel is someone who is an achiever. They're a doer. They love to achieve and accomplish things. They're action-oriented. They're very physical people. They want to walk everywhere. They want to do all the things. They have a list. They have the little mini Lonely Planet pocket guidebook with the little walking tour in the back. And they're like, I want to do this walking tour and I want to see all these
They've
stuff.
circled everything and dog-eared it. Yeah.
That's the doer type of travel. My friend Seth is like that. He comes to visit me and he literally wants to do everything. And I'm like, nope, no. I'm going to go slow, Seth. I'm going to put up my boundaries because that will literally exhaust me.
Yeah.
Then there's and then finally there's the last style, which is the be. And the be is really simple. It's just you want to be present in that place and soak in the vibes. Like sitting on a park bench and along the Seine and having a picnic and watching the people pass you by and watching the boats pass you by. It's sitting on a bridge and watching the skyline and seeing, the taxis pass you by, right? There's the B style of travel is really being present and slowing down a lot to take in the culture, to take in the energy of that place and really just soak it in so that you feel like you're one with that location. You are becoming that location. Yeah. So I'd love to ask you, what is your style and are you a mix of both?
So I just wanted to mention, to add on to the B, I had a very good friend, one of my best friends, come visit me in Paris recently. And anytime someone comes to Paris, I always think to myself, okay, I got to be a good host, got to show them everything, but I also want to see what kind of person they are, what things are important to them. And so he came, and this was his first time ever in Paris. And I asked him, what do you want to see? What do you want to do? And he's like, I don't know. I just want to be with you. And so I think that there's a certain element of B travelers where they don't care about doing, they don't care about acquiring or having. They just want to be, but not even be on a park bench. They want to be with whoever they're visiting. Like it's more like they want to visit people and they can do whatever. They don't care. Like there's some landmarks that I thought would be important for him to see, like Notre Dame de Paris, the famous cathedral. And he didn't see it. And he was like, that's okay. We did other things and we were here together and we talked and that was what was important to him. Blew my mind. I would never do that.
He's an extreme level of B. Even I would regret not seeing the...
very B. I mean, we saw other things. We saw things in the distance, but I asked him and he just there was nothing. Just to be in Paris with me. That's really what he wanted to do.
Wow, what a
Yeah.
sweet friend.
Yeah, it's
Special.
sweet, but also very foreign for me. So as you can probably tell, I'm more of a have, I guess. I'm
Oh,
like a mix between have and be.
okay.
It depends on the place, but like, recently we went to Japan and there are certain things I wanted to do, but they all tend to be food focused. So I guess I would count the have and the acquire. So I wanted to acquire an experience that was food, so have specific foods. So I guess there's a bit of a mix between have and do. Like if you go to a specific kind of restaurant and you have an experience that's food focused, but also the atmosphere, the ambiance, then you can check that experience off the list. So that's like doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was in Japan, oftentimes you let me go do my own thing because you didn't want to go eat all these specific kinds of foods. And I just had a ball. I had a blast. And so my traveling experience is always centered around food. And so all of my favorite travel experiences are almost always food related or food adjacent, like go to a museum, but then go to a cafe or go walking and then stop at a restaurant, or like when we went to Rome that one time, I don't know if you remember, we decided to do an Airbnb experience and we went out, we took the train like 30 minutes or an hour to go to this random grandmother's house. And then we got all of, she had all these fresh ingredients in her garden and we were able to make fresh food from scratch that was Italian. I will never forget that. That was such a beautiful, authentic experience. But once we finished making the food, we ate it.
Yeah.
Like if I just made it and I said, okay, that's an experience. No, we have to eat the food that we made. And so for me, I guess I'm more of a have, but a food have.
Yeah. I'll include the link to that blog post with all the photos from that experience because I blogged about it and I took some beautiful photos of that experience in Italy in the countryside making that food. So I'll include the link if you guys are interested in seeing those photos from that time. But I would say I'm have and be too. I would say mainly be. It's so interesting because I always compile a huge list of all the things I want to do in a place when I go, like with Japan, with Hong Kong. Like with Japan, I had so many things I wanted to do. And then when I got there, I just wanted to be present and slow down and just see where the winds take me. And I've noticed my travel styles, I'm super spontaneous. I like having a plan, but then I like deviating it from it completely. Like don't like having, I just find it takes from the moment. And there's something really beautiful about just seeing where the day takes you. There's something really magical about that. And those are the memories and experiences that I always remember and I look back on. And I'm like, that was such a fun memory. Like the time we were in the south of France and we pulled off at a gas station and I went in and I asked the guy at the cashier's counter, I said, what do you recommend around here that's good for locals, something in nature? And he was like, oh, this lake is really magical. So we drove 30 minutes to this lake. And it was one of my favorite memories of all time when we jumped off the cliff. Or I didn't, you did. I was too scared.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
You jumped off this cliff into the lake and we had a picnic and had fresh olives and fresh nuts from, south of France. Those farmers markets are so good. And it was just one of those memories I'll always remember. And it's because we allowed space in the day to deviate, to be spontaneous. And so I'm much more of a B level of traveler.
Yeah, I'm the opposite of that.
Yeah. I love sitting on a park bench and just watching the people pass by. I love sitting in a coffee shop for hours, like 3 hours with a notebook and nursing 3 cups of coffee. You hate that. You're
I
like,
get
can we
super
go?
restless, yeah.
So he
I
has
have my one coffee and done.
You do have Mercury on your ascendant in Libra, and you're definitely like wanting to go, get restless after sitting for too long.
Well, the thing is like, so you like not knowing what's coming and being spontaneous and seeing where the wind goes. I like having something to look forward to. Like you have something, you've looked at the pictures, you've looked at the reviews, you've looked at the description, and then you get so excited, and then you like imagine yourself there and you count down the days, let's say if it's a big thing. Like I've done that for hotels, like places we're staying, or for restaurants and food places. So if I read something on the menu and I say, oh man, that sounds so good, I can't wait to try it. So I love looking forward to it. So for me, it's not like, oh, we have to go do this thing. It's like, no, like I can picture it. And that's so exciting,
Yeah.
So when you're spontaneous, you don't have that chance to look forward to something.
Yeah.
It just happens spontaneously and you take it as it goes,
Yeah.
So.
And I would be, for all of you listeners, I want you to ask yourself, are you a have, do, or be type of traveler, or are you a mix of both? What's your partner? If you're in a relationship, what's your partner like? And then I want you to look at your birth chart and I want you to look at your third house because your third whole sign house in your chart can show your style of travel. The moon gets its joy here because it's all about the act of traveling, of moving, of commuting, of getting on the bus, getting on the train, getting on the, in the car and going somewhere. And so if you have an earth or a water sign in the third house, that means you might like to take it slow more or just do less. Earth and water are both a bit more grounded, bit more foundational, centered, move slowly, spontaneous, especially with water, more connecting with people. Earth signs with the third might find that they like having things more, like shopping, spending money, or consuming food. So you might have, if you're an earth sign in the third, you might like the having style. I have Capricorn in the third house, so definitely like more of the food and the shopping and things in my travel experiences. If you have a fire or air sign in the third house, you might be way more active, going to a lot of places, doing a lot of things. If you have a fire sign, you might be really creative. You might like, making things as you're going. You might like talking and chatting a lot with other people, your friend, whoever you're traveling with, if you have an air sign in your third house, because air is the sign. Air is very communicative and social and all about mental ideas and learning. You might be that person that has the travel guidebook on you and you're, reading about all the places and learning the history of the place while you're there. So air and fire, much more active doing research, communication, social, and then water and earth, you might be a little bit more slower, but also a bit more have mixed in there as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little mini tip. Check out the third house in your chart and see what you are and if that resonates and aligns with your style of travel. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on, honey. It was great to have you in on this podcast, this mini podcast episode all on travel style. I also have another YouTube video all on travel style. I'll include it in the show notes and up in the description here if you're watching this on YouTube. By the way, those of you listening to the podcast version of this episode, you can go over to YouTube and also see the video episode as well. We're actually filming this in a beautiful Paris podcast studio. So
nice.
Thanks for coming on, hun.